Okay, so now we're going to do the 2022 set. For those asking where to buy the topical booklet from, this is the number. It's +92 333. It's 9393421. The guy's name is Kabir. You can buy it from this person. Okay, on to 2022 set. Said, will he give notes to those students also who aren't part of your registration and session? Yes, actually, you can buy the booklet from any of this. The marking scheme is available for this booklet. He'll send you the marking scheme as you purchase the booklet. 2022 only had 3 questions. Chalo, that's even better for me. So it's saying define structural isomers. The first question of 2022 says define structural isomers. They are molecules with the same molecular formula. Come on, molecules with same molecular formula but different structural formula. You have to write different. You can't write different SF and MF. You have to write molecular formula, structural formula. Next, liquids that contains molecules of T. Molecules of T exist as a pair of isomers. Ocha ye. Liquids that contain molecules of T smell like lemons. Okay, so now see, if you actually are interested in chemistry, you would love this. You'll be like, oh, okay, so the reason why something smells like lemon is this fella. So if you were to make a perfume, see, this is how my brain used to work. If I were to make a perfume which I wanted to smell like lemon, I'd probably put this fella in it. This is why these perfumes smell like this. This is A-level chemistry is so important. This A-level Cambridge examiners, they give you questions in such a way that makes you understand the real world. So now if tomorrow you set up an industry of a perfume and you want that to smell like lemons, you can just add this compound to it. That's it. That's what the examiner is telling me. They don't lie to you. Yeah. So he's saying molecules of T exist as a pair of stereoisomers. Okay. Name the type of stereoisomers shown by molecules of T. Now, which type of stereoisomers are shown by, isomerism is shown by T? Some of you guys might be dumbo jumbos and you might say, oh, sir, it's geometric because there's a double bond. No, it's not geometric. Why? Because this carbon is bonded to the same group of atoms right here. It's bonded to a CH3 right here and it's bonded to a CH3 right here. So geometric isomerism cannot exist. So which type of isomerism would exist? Let's look at the carbons. This is CH2 right here. So no, let's look at chirality now. There's carbon right here. See, junction. Always look at the junction. This carbon is bonded to a CH3, is bonded to a hydrogen because that bond isn't shown, is bonded to this entire fella and is bonded to this entire fella. Everything are different. Everything, there's different atoms, different group of atoms, which means that this carbon is basically a chiral carbon. It's a chiral carbon, which means it will exhibit optical isomerism. So name the type of stereoisomerism. The type is optical isomerism. Since, why, and then explain it. See, explain your answer. Always explain. Optical isomerism, since there is a chiral carbon in T, which means it has 4 different group of atoms. Different group of atoms, which enables it to I'll write as much English as I want, enabling it to exhibit optical isomerism. It's my choice. Once in a matriculation paper, a student asked another friend, he was cheating, and so he asked, just tell me the first word and the last word, the first phrase and the last phrase. So the friend said optical isomerism, and then he said the last word is optical isomerism. This used to be a joke that we used to crack. We were so simple back in the day. And fun fact, when you show these things to the examiner puts a scene here. So he appreciates that you have actually, even if your explanation is not up to the mark, when he sees that you have done something like this, examiner says, oh, I saw this. Okay, so he has understood the concept. So even if your explanation is not up to mark, maybe the examiner still gives you full marks. So do these annotations. He sees it. The examiner sees it and appreciates it. ठीक है. Sir, why do we not say why? So it's just a 2-mark question, Hamza. Why would I say, okay, why not? It's not geometric. He's saying, just tell me why which type exists and why. So this type exists and the reason I've given it to you. It's just a 2-mark question, one for the type and one for the reason. अब आप जो है इसमें ये भी लिखना चाहें, if you want to write this, and geometric isomerism does not exist because each carbon in the, it's not a 4-mark question, is it? So give marks to it. give time to it and words to it as much as the marks have been allocated to it. Next, bromine reacts with butane in the presence of UV light to form bromobutane. Okay, bromobutane forms. Now it can be meth, eth, pro, but. It can be bromobutane, can look something like this with a Br here. It can be 1-bromobutane, and or it can also be a 2-bromobutane right here. So I don't know. He's just saying it forms bromobutane. It says two structural isomers with the molecular formula of C4H9Br are produced during this reaction. Draw the two structural isomers and state the systematic name for it. We've already done this 2, 3, 4. The first one is, and this fella is Br. So the first one is what? 1-bromobutane. Butane. And the second one is 2, 3, 4. And the Br is on the second carbon. 2-bromobutane. Achha, my bad. I always write the, spellings in this B as a capital B. It's normally a small b, but the examiner will not cut a mark here. But the capital small, it doesn't really matter. Bilkul. And which type of isomers are these two? They are position isomers or positional isomers. They are positional isomers of each other. You could even say position isomers. Both correct. Halothane. Okay, halothane. This is called halothane. Wow, awesome. What would be the systematic name for this, by the way? This is the first carbon, second carbon. What would be the systematic name for it? It would be 1-bromo, 1-chloro, 2,2,2-trifluoromethaethene. This would be the systematic name for it. And he's saying halothane is an anesthetic. So now, if you were to, make an industry, for anesthetics, you can use halothane. The examiner actually teaches you stuff through questions. Teaches you normal. That's why Cambridge is known for why Cambridge is Cambridge. Although Pearson and Excel is easier, but Cambridge actually teaches you stuff in real life. It makes you into a researcher. Identify the chiral center of halothane and mark it with a steric sign. Which one is the chiral center? This fella is bonded to same group of atoms, 3 same atoms right here. This fella is bonded to Cl, H, Br, and this CF3. So this is basically the chiral center. It's bonded to 4 different group of atoms. Now I'm saying when halothane reacts with light. So what is halothane? It is what? CF3, C bonded to Br, bonded to Cl, bonded to H, right? This is what halothane is. And he's saying when it reacts with light, the homolytic fission breaks the CBr bond. Now, see, I don't know. I have not studied any of this, but he's telling me it breaks the CBr bond and it breaks it homolytically. Why does it break it homolytically? I couldn't care less at this point. But one of the reasons would have been that, the shared pair of electrons are shared equally between the two. So it only makes sense to break it equally between the two. But are they actually shared equally between the two? No. But the examiner is telling me, okay, it breaks homolytically, so it breaks homolytically. I'm not going to question the examiner. So the CBr breaks homolytically, which means one electron goes here and the other electron goes here. It makes radical. You have an unpaired electron or uneven electron, unpaired electron, right? So this breaks. And so he's saying write the equation for it to show the homolytic fission of halothane. How do you show it? CF3, C, and this CBr bond breaks, right? So CBr, CLH, this breaks. And what do you get? You get CF3. The CBr bond broke. So now what you're left with is C, you're left with H, you're left with Cl, and this is a radical which forms, right? You just show the radical sign. Because this carbon, it's not necessary to show the radical sign on this carbon. We know that this carbon will now have an unpaired number of electrons, but you can show this sign right here. Couldn't care less. And then what is left? The Br bond has been broken, right? So you just show Br with a radical sign. That's it. You can put the radical sign before, after, doesn't really make a difference. But you just need, the examiner just wanted you to show the radical signs. That's it. This is radical. That's a radical. That's it. They broke evenly, homolytically. Sir, what was radical again? Radical was a species with an unpaired electron. They were very reactive. For example, Cl radical. Cl radical has Cl and one unpaired electron right here. That's why Cl does not exist in the form of Cl. It exists in the form of Cl2. Right, Ryan? 2022 set over. Bas, khatam. You want to do more?